everyone. Thanks for tuning to this workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be reviewing The Three Body Problem by Shizun Liu. Really hope I pronounced it correctly. This is one of those books that you ever like go to the bookstore and you hear all this hype about a book and then you're just like, oh my god, will I even get it? Like, get it. I was intimidated by the book on an intellectual level. You know, I studied writing, literature, and publishing in college, right? Just because I grew up at MIT doesn't mean I really understand, science. I like science. I do like reading Scientific America. I do like space, the final frontier. Those topics do fascinate me. But I would say my scientific knowledge of them are pretty minimal. I'm not, ashamed to admit that. Not my expertise at all. So I was intimidated by this book. And then, finally I just bit the bullet. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just stop overthinking it. Let me just buy the book and read it. And if I like it, I like it. I loved it. This is a phenomenal book. And I mean that. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal. I don't know why I was so intimidated by it. It's accessible. It's very accessible to the reader. Sometimes I look at books and I'm like, oh my god, am I going to need a PhD in order to understand this and things don't go over my head? No, not at all in this case. The author did such a brilliant job of making the topics, those scientific topics, accessible. All that, as I like to say, scientific mumbo jumbo, it didn't fly over my head. And it's not dumbed down either. It's clear without dragging the plot. There's not a whole lot of exposition. You understand the basics, which is what you need to understand for the story. The author is giving you the basics in a very engaging narrative. It's engaging. It is thought-provoking. And you don't have to overthink this book. This is one of those books that, again, I was intimidated by, so this is how I read it. 30 pages a day. That's it. 30 pages, 30 minutes a day. And then I got to a point where I was just going over those 30 minutes. So I'm like, oh my god. So it was my 30-page day read, so that's what I usually read in the mornings with my cup of coffee before I have to catch the bus to work. It got to the point where I was just like, oh my god, I need to get ready for work now. If I'm gonna catch the bus, I gotta go. Because I didn't want to put it down. It's fluid. The pacing is excellent. There's even a little mini subplot of a mystery in the story that captures your attention. It adds to the overall plot without taking away from it. You're going between different cultures. You're going between different perspectives. You're starting at the Cultural Revolution in China in the beginning, and then you're going through to modern day, but you're going back and forth, But it's fluid. Going back and forth, it's incredibly fluid. It moves effortlessly. And then you have this virtual reality game that is the Three Body Problem. And you're going through, I can't think of the word. You're going through the movements, basically, of this game and what the three body problem is and how you have to solve it. And it's amazing. The aliens are not in this book heavily. I think there's only, for sure, one chapter, but I feel like I can't remember if that one chapter is really 2 chapters. They're really only there for a very small glimpse to show their backstory and how they interact with humans through radio messaging. That's it. They haven't even interacted with humans yet, not physically, just through messages through space. And if you think about it, those messages take a long time to go back and forth. I mean, It's just so vast. So it is invasion lit. So don't go thinking you're going to read this book and the aliens are going to be there in the beginning. They're not. They're introduced 3/4 of the way, and they're still not introduced by the time you get to the book. You just know the aliens are on their way, and they are coming, and this is their plan to dominate the human race. So I'm excited to read book 2 and book 3. It was just very effortless, you know. Nothing went over my head. I was able to understand the story. I was engaged in this story, you know. My attention was just like, I was captured. I was absolutely captured. It's no surprise this book won the Hugo Award. I'm not surprised. It's just brilliant. It's brilliantly told. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and give this book 5 out of 5 stars. It's just phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. When I can read a book that I'm intimidated by, that has a lot of science terms in there, and I'm able to understand because, you know, the author is making it engaging without, you know, dumbing it down and making it accessible and using lots of context clues, again, without just detracting from the pacing. That's just phenomenal writing, in my opinion. Absolutely phenomenal. So, 5 out of 5 stars. If you yourself want to purchase the book, I will include links in the description below on where to purchase. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking this video, subscribing to it, and sharing it with all your book-loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading!